then... Alrighty. Okay. And close that. Hey, Dunno, what's going on? Okay. I don't know if you know who moreparz is, but like I've seen him like literally everywhere, and I've only actually seen a couple of his YouTube shorts. So today I'm just gonna look at him, and because I know he does like Australian animal shit. So we gonna take a look and see what it is. Hello. Alright, let's begin with this one. What just happened? What the fuck? Let me go back here. Is this a non-gaming stream? Yes. I believe I have it set on just chatting. This is in fact a non-gaming stream. I know, right? It's incredible. But yeah, I'm gonna be reacting to moreparz today. So we'll see how it goes. I wish I could do that emoji. Alright, let's get into it. Wait, I think I remember seeing this on the news. Wait. Mm-hmm. Yup. Mm-hmm. I don't think a spider needs to be able to do that personally. I don't know about you, but I don't think something that small needs to be equipped. Looks like a fucking Pokemon. Everything in Australia looks like a fucking Pokemon, mate. Literally everything. Yup. Yeah, I remember seeing this on the news. Australia's just... Australia is IRL Pokemon that, like, God was experimenting on in, like, the pre-Earth times. Also, it's really quiet. That's why.
2 inches is more than enough. 2 inches is actually fucking huge. But
tell me if it's a little bit better.
This is the new one. It's twice the fucking size, cunt. 4 inches of eight-legged menace to the animal kingdom. But that isn't even the best part. You see, do you know what they named this thing? Do you know?
Do you want me to turn it up even more? It's fine? Alright, cool.
What professional scientists named a supersized version of the most dangerous spider on the entire fucking planet? The Newcastle
Big Boy.
Deadliest spider on the entire fucking globe. Big Boy. Only in Australia. Australia.
As you can see, Australia is highly creative with the choices of names for our animals.
Platypus are weird, but I'm not sure you quite understand just how fucking weird. See, everyone knows the basics. They lay eggs, they sweat milk, and they look like God hit randomizer on the spore creature creator and just called it a day. But you see, mate, that's barely even scratching the surface of weird platypus features. First up, as is the qualifier for any Australian animal, did you know they're venomous?
Yep.
No, I'm not
Why are
fucking
they
with you.
venomous?
You heard me correctly. Male platypus actually have venomous spurs on their hind legs. These spurs are multi-purpose, acting as defense from predators, as well as a tool for throwing hands with other male platypus during mating season. And while their venom is non-lethal, that doesn't mean that getting stung by them doesn't fucking suck. See, platypus venom can cause extreme pain and swelling, and to ensure you remember not to fuck with them again, these...
Why make the cutest thing venomous? Because it's Australia, mate. Because it's Australia.
effects can last for several months and have no treatment or...
Also immune to pain meds. Well, I'll be fucked. And I'll wait for you. Bow, bow. Bop, 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 bop. Ad is over? Alrighty. Let us continue then. Yeah, also immune to pain meds, by the way, so you just have to fucking deal with it.
or anti-venom, so if Perry stabs your shit, your only option is to cry about it. Next on the list of offensive capabilities, I shit you not, platypus share the same hunting method as sharks.
Huh? How? The
See, that big-ass bill isn't just for show, as it contains enough surveillance equipment to make the CIA blush. Possessing the ability to sense changes in pressure in the water, but most importantly, containing electroreceptors that track electrical signals from muscle contractions made by their prey. meaning that when whatever they're chasing starts quaking in fear,
Why?
they know about it. And last but not least, as if those things
Why
weren't
do they
already
need that?
unbelievable, we recently discovered something new. Platypus are fucking biofluorescent.
Why do they glow? They're a glow stick. What?
They glow. If you hit these things with a black light, they go bright fucking green. And the best part of that is, we have no clue why they do it. I guess it just means Perry was a biblically accurate platypus man. I'll give up.
No.
Who fucking designed this thing?
What the fuck is Australia? Satan's Zoo. That's what it is. I don't even know, man. I live here and I don't even fucking know.
This seal is such a...
It's Neil the Seal. I know this seal. This seal has its own Instagram account.
menace that he routinely gets the cops called on him. Introducing our protagonist, Neil the Seal, a 600 kilo absolute unit of a southern elephant seal from my home state of Tasmania in the land down under, who is known for, above all else, being an absolute fucking menace to polite society. But despite his crimes, we all still truly love him. But what are his crimes? Well, see, he seems to just fucking hate traffic cones and road safety.
I want to pet it. I mean, you probably could pet it. He might bite your hand off. But, like, you can pet it if you want to.
In general, has regularly been caught trespassing, and then once he has been caught trespassing, belligerently screaming at locals because they won't give him his fucking fish, and has been known to just block roads by plopping his fat ass down.
Look at that fat ass just blocking
directly
the road,
in the middle
bro.
of it. However, hands down, the funniest shit he has ever done was just straight stopping this random lady from going to work.
It looks
I shit you not.
It does.
This motherfucker.
Look at that thing. Look. Oh my god. That thing does not look like there's a brain cell in its head.
Crawled out of the ocean, up the beach, crossed the road, absolutely fucking bodied this woman's poor letterbox, and then proceeded to plant himself directly in front of her fucking car.
Oh, whatever he's on.
Unable to go to work because this half-ton beefcake was camping her driveway for so damn long. Local news had time to drive out to her house and cover the fucking story.
Imagine, like, having to call your boss and it's like, hey, I can't come to work today. Why? Why can't you come to work? There's a fucking seal blocking my fucking driveway. That...
Now, this is a lot of menace for a single seal to cause. But the funniest part of this is, old mate isn't even fully grown. He's like 5 years old.
Oh,
if you think he can fuck things up now, wait until he's nearly 2.
How tall is that fucker? Where's my... It's coming, mate. I'll make sure it's done by tomorrow, trust. I'm sorry I've been a bit slow on that. But... Holy fuck. That's straight up taller than them. What? Also, he's fat. Holy.
Solid ass tons of blubber and takes issue with the wall of your house. I do not think that seal damage is covered on my fucking insurance
It's gonna be
plan,
Godzilla the seal.
This seal is such a menace.
Nah, Neil is a menace, bro.
Wombats defend themselves by throwing it back.
We love wombats.
But to understand how the fuck they actually do it, you're going to need to learn a little bit about them first. You see, Australia is home to 3 species of these bad boys, all of them equally adorable, and very importantly, all being burrowers, meaning they dig out a nice little hole for themselves and the family to live in, because, like the rest of us, they can't afford a fucking house in this economy, man. They go to around 1.3 meters in length, but despite being small, they are built like fucking...
I want to pet it. Well, thing is, you can pet these things, actually. If you go to, like, an Australian zoo or whatever, what's good, you can actually go up and pet these things. Because they're actually, like, pretty harmless to humans. I've done it before, and they're very little adorable little animals.
Weighing in at a chunky ass 35 kilos, but despite their weight, I shit you not.
Oh, my cat's demanding my attention. Hold on. I'm back. Let us see cat pictures. On my YouTube, I'll post a picture of my cat. Because I don't have any pictures on my computer, unfortunately.
They have a top speed of 40k
Hey,
an
whoa!
hour.
I did not know that. What? Holy shit!
Now, the fact
How
that
is that
they can
fat
nearly
ass
get booked in
moving
school
that
zone,
fast?
coupled with them being a tank-class marsupial, forms the start of their defense strategy. So you see, a fun fact about wombat anatomy is they spec all their defense points
Fast as fuck,
into
boy.
their ass.
Yeah,
Rather than
literally.
having fat and muscle, a wombat's cheeks are made out of 4 thick plates of fused cartilage, making it extremely
chunky
solid.
ass.
And this Kevlar BBL allows for the fucking funniest defense mechanism I have ever seen on an animal. Basically, if a predator tracks down Mr. Wombat,
Not the Dr. Disrespect. That's what he says, predator. I don't think we're ever gonna live in a world where Dr. Disrespect isn't clowned on. I'm gonna be honest.
wombat to his burrow, it'll stick its head in and start trying to dig him out. In response, the wombat will line his ass up with the tunnel door, chuck the gear shifter into reverse, and fucking floor it
Oh my
backwards
God.
up the tunnel into his aggressor, slamming his ass into its head. The impact then squashes the predator between his steel cheeks and the roof of the burrow.
Oh my God.
Straight up crushing
Holy
its skull
shit.
like a Mortal Kombat fatality. I cannot make this shit up.
That is certainly a defense mechanism. Bro quite literally gets sat on. Oh. Sat on. Bro dies to ass. Yeah.
People get shocked when I whip out like a flawless American accent. Because I've got like a really thick Australian one, right? But I am not above just... Dude, I can't wait to go get like burgers.
Oh, what? That American accent.
Later, man. I'm like so hyped for burgers, dude. I fucking love cheeseburgers. Dude, you been watching the NFL? Super
Oh
Bowl
my
was
God.
crazy.
It's like a switch, bro. He just went from his wholly like typical Australian to American real quick.
See this year, man. Eagles just like fucking dumpstered the Chiefs, bro.
Holy.
It was crazy. People get...
Damn, well that's actually impressive. No, I can't do an accent like that.
Stepping on this rock could straight up
It's a fucking stonefish, isn't it? It's a fucking stonefish. Oh, I hate these little shits.
you.
Yeah,
That's because this isn't actually a rock. That is a stonefish.
fucking knew it. These little turds, they're everywhere.
A species of underwater menace native to Australia. And
Yep.
coming as a surprise to absolutely no one, it is also the most venomous fish in the ocean. Because of course it is. As if the fucking snakes and spiders weren't enough, now I can get packed up by a pet rock.
Yep.
But why is this Pokemon reject such a threat to my mental health? Well, you see, stonefish use their special venom for defense. However, unlike most other animals that do this little f***er doesn't have the decency to dress like a neon sign to warn you. No, 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 no. This bastard is a 6th prestige prop hunt veteran, having evolved some of the most impressive camouflage in the animal kingdom to make hunting easier. And once they've set themselves up, they are basically indistinguishable from Patrick Starr's house. Now, this is a fairly major
Yippee.
problem as they love to live in the shallows on the beach, and that venom we talked about earlier is
So
stored
many
in
is to
these
say fucking
13
literally.
giant, highly toxic spines that deliver venom when pressed on. You can probably see where I'm going with this. Considering it's hard enough to
Yep.
spot these things while you're paying attention, if you were, say, on a romantic walk along the beach with one of the homies, and while distracted by his ethereal beauty, weren't paying too much attention to where you were walking, it would be very easy to place your foot in the wrong spot and step directly onto 13 hypodermic needles, which would then deliver a ginormous dose of neurotoxin
it's
straight into
neurotoxin?
your system. Oh, you
Fuck
thought it was
off.
normal venom. No, 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 no.
Fuck off. Why? What need does this animal have for this shit? Why do I literally live in like the Satan Central?
You see, these things maxed out the toxin skill tree, producing a mixture of 2 neurotoxins that can flatline you by collapsing your heart and lungs in under an hour. And even if you survive, the sting still causes extreme pain, swelling, and tissue necrosis.
Yeah. So a little fun fact that I'm gonna like, what's it called? Just tell you. So obviously, I live in Australia, and one time I was going to the beach, right? And I was there, And also good. I got like a jellyfish thing. It wasn't like a lethal jellyfish. I got stung on my fingers, right? And it was painful, but nothing lethal or anything. So I went to the lifeguards that were there, right? And they were apply this stuff that made the pain a little bit less. And when I went to do that, there was someone who got stung by a stonefish, right? And it was like they like full on stepped on it, like right, and because the tissue necrosis is like disgusting, right? Like it's literally your flesh deteriorating. Now, by the way, I was 8, by the way. I literally looked to my right, and you can literally see someone's half of like the bottom of their leg is like rotting away because like from stonefish venom. Like I was like actually fucking that terrified me, bro. And honestly, that's one of the prime reasons why I don't like going to the beach in Australia. Just because there's so many like things in the ocean that would like absolutely fuck you up. Yes. This thing needs to be purged from the fucking ocean. Anyways, on to the next one.
This bird can straight hit you with a Mortal Kombat fatality.
The cassowary,
Introducing the cassowary, a species of ratite native to the land down under. And for once, guys, it's not venomous. Can still flatline you though, and I'm going to tell you how. You see, these neon chickens belong to the same family of birds as the emu.
No, I say we shoot stonefish venom in bullets at people. Damn, that's another level. Holy shit. I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't wish stonefish venom on my worst enemy. I'm gonna be honest, that shit, like tissue necrosis, that's another level of like, of fucking like, I don't even know. Like, I would not wish that on anyone.
And as such, share their impressive size, coming in at a solid 79 kilos and growing up to 6 feet tall, meaning the short kings in my audience could, in theory, mount these things like a chocobo. But what makes them stick out from emus? Well, you see, the cassowary is basically a spec ops emu.
Can I eat it? That thing would disembowel you probably before you tried to eat it.
Being twice the weight, highly territorial.
Why is it throat singing? Why does that sound come from that animal? That does not sound like something that should come out of that. Like, what?
A spec ops emu. Being twice the weight, highly territorial.
Yeah, nah. That should not be coming out of that animal. That sound does... If you were to look at a cassowary, you would not think that that sound would come out of it.
And most importantly, coming with a combat knife.
I knew about this part.
Strapped to their foot. That's right, this is a cassowary claw, and it's the reason they can hit you with a fighting game finisher. You see, these claws are a full 5 inches long. And you know what I mean? Honestly, 5 inches, way too big for anything, and especially if it's something that's going inside me. And if you anger the tactical assault turkey, that is exactly what you're gonna get, as their go-to defense method is to kick you square in the gut with that kitchen knife and attempt to disembowel you. And I mean, even if the kick doesn't put your insides on the outsides, that kick is still going to send you...
What? What about, what, you shocked about the combat knife strapped to its foot? Well, that part I already knew about, fucking... Well, because occasionally, like, I'd have trips to the zoo, like... Why does it have built-in multi-tools? Hey, in Australia, you gotta be efficient, mate. You gotta make sure you're efficient. And, this is one way to do it, I guess. Also, cassowaries are, like, terrifying because, like, at the zoo, because, like, what they'll do is, like, they'll have the fence. They actually tell you to stay 2 meters away from the fence. Because, like, they are pretty aggressive animals. You batshit crazy. One rule that you should always remember is the people in Australia are always as crazy as the wildlife. That's a good rule to have.
Flying, which can cause some fairly major problems. Problems like the incident that occurred in 2012, where I you not, a cassowary ran up behind a random tourist, hit the heavy attack button, and kicked the guy down a small
No,
cliff into the ocean. I mean, luckily he survived, but the fact that I live in a country where at any point I could be hit with a sneak attack by a kaiju turkey is
Kaiju turkey.
terrifying.
Honestly, kaiju turkey is a pretty accurate description. Not gonna lie, like, that's a pretty accurate description of the cassowary. I think it's fucking 6 foot, has a combat knife, and can like, turn your insides into outsides real quick.
Australia lost a war to emus.
Oh, it's the emu war. Oh, I'm glad he covered this, but yeah. All I'm gonna say about this is I don't know how we fucked up this bad. I don't know how we fucked up.
But how? How the f*** did we lose an armed conflict with flightless birds? Well, it all started in 1932 when farmers in Western Australia wanted to grow wheat. There was just one major problem. That's emu territory, and emus really like wheat. And coming in at 6 foot tall and 40 kilos in weight, they can eat a lot of it. So when breeding season came around, the emus migrated through the farmland, and these poor farmers were overwhelmed by a tyrannid swarm of man-sized poultry, 20,000 emus strong. These feathered tanks then proceeded to completely steamroll through the fences into the fields and started laying waste to the wheat. The farmers attempted to fight back the initial wave with rifle fire, but their efforts were, putting it lightly, completely useless. This ginormous L made the farmers pretty bloody angry, so they gathered together and went to the government to ask for help. Sir, 20,000 emus have hit the wheat fields. Me, mate. And so the government declared the emus enemies of the state and sent in the...
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Declaring wild animals as enemies of the state is, I'm gonna be honest, like another level of stupidity. Like, I know the Australian government is a bit retarded, but this is like another level of stupid.
Army to commence the Great Emu War. The entire 7th Heavy Artillery Division was deployed to WA, armed with 2 LMGs, 10,000 rounds, and the sole objective to blast anything with feathers. A little bit mixed.
Bro, just send an asteroid. I don't want them to. I'm gonna get blown up too if they send a fucking asteroid. I don't want an asteroid. No.
Excessive for an overgrown turkey, if you ask me, and upon their first deployment, the army immediately ran into a major problem. Emus are fast. I am speed.
We need another mass reset. Bro, God just needs to hit the reset button at this point.
Really fast, clocking a top speed of 50 kilometers an hour, which meant that once they opened fire, the emus would immediately bolt out of range of their weapons. But they still took a crack at it, and then immediately stopped when both LMGs jammed after only dropping 12 emus.
I'm gonna realize that's some shitty LMGs that they gave them. I'm gonna be honest. That's some shitty weaponry
This embarrassment led the army to retreat and rethink their plan. So a few weeks later they returned, this time mounting the LMGs on trucks in an attempt to run the birds down. However, this also didn't work, because after figuring out that those trucks meant they were about to be turned into a KFC family bucket, the emus started...
Bro, that's a flapjack rifle. Nah, the Australian government fucked up like majorly in this. I don't know how we lost
leaving
like
scout
little
birds
like
who
birds.
would warn the flock of the approaching trucks, which gave them all enough time to book it before the army even got there. And whenever they did catch the emus, they found out they were kind of... Because emus are mostly feathers, and there's a lot of places you can hit on them without doing any damage, meaning it was taking around 10 bullets for every one bird. So after a month of blood, sweat, tears, and 10,000 rounds of ammunition, the army managed to bring down 960. The population was 20,000. This was an issue as, unlike America, our defense budget is not a bottomless pit. So the army had wasted all that money to achieve absolutely fuck all. So the government just kind of built a really long, really fence around the farms and called it a day. How the fuck did we lose this?
How? How the fuck did we lose something like this? Send the Florida men. Honestly, the Florida men would have done a better job than my government. I'm gonna be real, like, they would have done a much better job. Like,
kangaroos can and will
We
beat
love
you up.
kangaroos.
That's right, just because it's not venomous doesn't mean it can't knock you on your ass, and Australia's most iconic marsupial can do just that.
Yep.
Because they are way bigger than you think they are. With our biggest species of
Florimen just fucking beat alligators to death for no reason. Yeah, I think if they can beat an alligator to death, they'll do pretty well in Australia, I reckon.
coming in at a ridiculous 2.8 meters in length. And with the iconic hop, they've got a vertical jump of 3 meters.
Boing.
I mean, honestly, with a stat spread like that, they don't belong in the Outback, they belong on a f***ing NBA court.
Honestly, they do well in
As
the
if
NBA.
that wasn't enough, they're also built like tanks, weighing in at a full 90 kilos of roid-raging rabbit muscle, and being able to move way faster than anything that heavy has any right to, pegging the speedo at a max of 70k an hour.
Loki, like, hitting 70k an hour while fucking hopping is impressive. Somebody thought to choke out a python for no reason. What? You know, it's Florida, I'm not going to question it. But, yeah, hopping at 70k an hour is pretty impressive. I don't know about you. Well, that's impressive as.
Meaning if you make them angry, a juiced up rat the size of a small car is going to run your ass down and beat the f***ing brakes off you.
And
I'm not kidding when I say they really
things.
will rock your shit, because roos are professional kickboxers, with males routinely fighting MMA to win female attention. When they fight, kangaroos will lean back on their tails as a stabilizer and immediately start scratching and
kicking each other.
ever-loving shit out of one another. And those kicks have enough force to crack bone. And as if getting drop-kicked by a muscled muscle.
Actually, I have like another story as well about kangaroos. One time I went to a zoo and we were on our way to like, I don't know, I think it was getting lunch or something like that, right? And we saw this one kid coming back. I think the kid must have been like, what, 7? Something like that. Coming back from where the kangaroos were. And I kid you not, this like 7-year-old kid had scratch marks all across his face. Like, it was actually like terrifying. Like, it was bleeding from it too. Yeah. You have to give me 1 sec. I'm got IRL shit to deal with for like 5 minutes. So get some water or something and I'll be back with you in a sec. Alright, I have returned. Alrighty. Back to the menace that is kangaroos.
Lupia wasn't bad enough. They also, for some reason, have the same bite force as a grizzly bear. Because what?
Why? Why? That's not needed.
Now, even with all of this, there are still animals stupid enough to view a Rua's lunch. Which brings me to the most terrifying thing that they do. When threatened, kangaroos will hop into a body of water and wait for whatever is chasing them to follow them in. Once the predator enters the water, the kangaroo will wrap its arms around their neck and just straight up drown them. What the man?
Yep.
I share a country with psychopathic tren rats. Oh!
Australia, everyone. Australia.
Touching this plant will put you in the hospital.
I'm dying.
This is the Gimpy Gimpy plant, a piece of foliage native to the land down under. And surprising no one, not only is the thing venomous, it is in fact the most painful plant on the planet.
Oh, good. Not only do the animals want to kill me here, but so do the fucking plants.
Because, yeah, no, of course, man. Even the fucking leaves down here have a problem with me. Growing in the rainforests of northern Queensland, these help...
Oh, lovely. I live in Queensland. Yeah, this can just be a pain, can it?
Bushes are covered in tiny hairs that, upon closer inspection, aren't hairs at all and are actually thousands of hypodermic needles waiting to stab you and break off inside your skin if you so much as brush them. Once inside you, these needles will inject you with, I am not kidding, neurotoxin.
Why? What use does a plant need for neurotoxin? Why? It's not necessary. It'll fucking crash out.
And cause absolutely excruciating pain. I mean, like, comedic levels of pain. With one person describing it as being covered in hot acid and electrocuted, and another woman saying that it was straight up...
Meow! What are you meowing at me for? Meow! Meow! Meow.
Up more painful than childbirth, and she'd given birth 4 times. And the
hey, yo.
up part is, the neurotoxin isn't even lethal. So this spiteful plant is hurting you purely for the love of the game. Mind you, there are reports of people saying getting stung by this thing is actually...
Holy shit, you would not catch me ever willingly stinging myself with that plant. You, my friend, have absolute fucking balls of steel to be able to do that.
Worse than being put in the ground. This is because Groot's little hellspawn cousin here can continue hurting you for literal years after being stung. This is because those thousands of little hypodermic needles are actually made out of silicon, meaning your body can't break them down. And with how thin they are, your skin will usually close up over the top of them, meaning that these neurotoxin-emitting slivers can sit inside your skin for literal years, releasing more neurotoxin anytime that they're moved or disturbed. This constant, chronic, agonizing pain is so unbelievably bad that there have even been records of, trying not to get banned here, people alt F4ing existence to
no way, people
make it stop. This particular incident came from a man who accidentally used one of the plant leaves as toilet paper.
No. Oh my god. That poor soul. Oh, hold on. Meow.
I don't think it gets much worse than neurotoxin to the nuts.
Yeah. I would not wish that on my worst enemy. That, yeah, no thanks.
I have been assaulted by a cow.
Huh?
One of the cows is called Monty, and he's an adolescent, and I made the mistake of turning around for like 5 seconds, and in that 5 seconds, this 500-kilo cow runs up behind me while I'm sorting out his food and tries to f***ing mount me.
Huh?
He nearly f***ing squished me. If I hadn't been hitting legs, I would have been squashed by a horny f***ing cow.
Damn, I don't know that cat. Maybe that cow's into humans, I guess.
This bird has to
It's
rearrange
the
its
kiwi!
organs and skeleton just to lay an egg.
Oh, what?
This cute little guy is the kiwi bird, a species of ratite native to New Zealand this time, and the
Ah.
absolute poster child for getting cucked by evolution. You see, this walking featherball is actually directly related to the emu, ostrich, and cassowary.
Oh, really? Fuck, that thing's tiny. Bro, it can almost fit in my hand.
Being a member of the same family of flightless birds. However, there is a problem. You see, the rest of the Kiwis' bloodline actually looked up a build guide before picking their stat spread, and as such made sure to trade the whole flying thing for something useful. With all of his cousins specking into speed, size, and some kind of offensive capability. So that leaves the question, what did the Kiwi pick to make up for not flying? Absolutely nothing. Kiwis are tiny in comparison to their
tiny
relatives,
as.
coming in at only 4 kilos in weight and 50 centimeters tall. This is because Kiwis evolved largely on an island with no natural predators, so they downsized and traded out the knife feet and bloodlust for just being a little guy with a good attitude, which honestly worked pretty well for them. Until the British did British
the
things,
British.
and now they have to deal with cats and dogs trying to eat them.
Aw.
And considering this build was not designed for PvP, they have been clapped so hard by invasive species that they are now unfortunately an endangered animal. But getting shafted by the British is just the beginning of the generational violation of the Kiwi, because these poor feathered fruits can't even reproduce without getting f***ed over. You see, the Kiwi bird's cousins are famous for laying huge eggs.
Yes.
I'm talking hit your protein macros in one meal-sized eggs.
Hey.
And you would think that is
No
because
way
they
the
are
eggs
large.
are the same size.
And you would be wrong. Because their vertically challenged cousins have to lay eggs the same...
How does that fit in their body? That's almost as big as them. What?
size. A kiwi bird lays eggs 20% the size of their body. With the egg being so bloody large, it rearranges their internal organs and stretches their rib cage just to be able to hold the thing. For reference, that is like a human giving birth to a 15-kilo
Holy
child.
shit.
That's not a bun in the oven anymore. That's a whole fucking bakery. This...
Bro, Kiwis really got fucked up by evolution, didn't they?
I ate lunch with a wild lizard. You see, before I made the videos, I worked as a handyman, and one day a client asked me to do some brush cutting because their lawn was, putting it lightly, completely f***ed. So I'm taming a miniaturised version of the Amazon jungle, and I see something that nearly gives me a heart attack. A big lump of scales slithering through the brush about 2 steps ahead of me. Being Australian, I immediately assumed it was a snake, which is a problem, because the only 2 snakes in my home state are highly venomous and extremely aggressive. So I immediately stopped what I was doing, backed the f*** up, and got ready to call in the snake catcher to relocate the angry hospital.
That's all good, mate. I just got back a little while ago. We're on to, I had lunch with a lizard.
Noodle. Help me. However, while dialing the number, I noticed something. It was, kind of too fat to be a snake, and it hadn't tried to eat me yet.
Wait, was
so,
it a blue
being
tongue
the
lizard?
poster child for why women live longer than men, I waddled back over for a closer look, and I found this little guy. This
It is a blue tongue lizard.
And they're actually pretty cool. Native to Australia, these bad boys are basically a tubby skink, but as the name suggests, they have a bright blue neon tongue. Now, I couldn't just leave this distinguished gentleman in harm's way, so I yoinked him and began looking for a place to relocate him away from where I was working. However, during the relocation process, this cute little man proceeded to cuddle up to my shirt and fall asleep. And did
that right there is every Australian's dream, by the way. Growing up, there was like blue tongue lizards everywhere, and all I wanted to do was like pick one up.
not particularly appreciate me trying to move him from his resting place. So, considering it was the middle of the day, I just said, fuck it, called a lunch break, and proceeded to sit in the sun eating a chicken sandwich while Godzilla's little cousin took a nap on my shirt. He sat with me for my entire 30-minute lunch break without me holding him. However, unfortunately, I was only halfway through my workday, so...
I'm making a sandwich. Nice. I just had my dinner, mate. Ugh. Hydration.
After I wrapped up lunch, I had to say goodbye. I very delicately removed my new scaled friend from my shirt and released him back into the wild.
Alrighty, big fella.
Off you go. Back into the bushes.
Oh.
There you go.
See you, friend.
I think
love
this
blue-tongued
incident
lizards.
legally qualifies me as the first Australian Disney princess. I ate lunch with...
I love blue-tongued lizards. They're adorable.
There was a big-ass huntsman that used to live in my house, and I'm gonna be honest, dude, I kind of just let him hang out.
He ain't f***ing small.
Oh, shit. Holy. Well, that's actually a big-ass huntsman.
I'll tell you that much. There's a huntsman, and they do. Ooh.
I was quite happy to let him just chill, because I never saw a f***ing mosquito or a fly in that house. So he was paying rent in his own way, you know?
Literally though. Honestly, there's huntsmen in here, like my house all the time, and I don't actually mind having them in here just because if there's a huntsman in here, there's barely any bugs. Right? Because like they just eat them all. And honestly, low-key worth not like swatting them just to make sure there's no bugs in my house.
This animal will peel your face off like a banana.
The drop bear.
Introducing the one creature that strikes fear into the hearts of every Aussie. The
100%
terrifying
real.
drop bear. A species of predatory marsupial exclusive to the land down under. This genuine nightmare may seem pretty normal at first, closely resembling the koala bear, and that is by design.
Just a disclaimer, this ain't a real animal. This is what we use to like prank other people who come to Australia and convince them that these things are real. And it's really funny when people actually believe us. Trust me.
See, the drop bear is an ambush predator, patrolling the branches of the eucalyptus tree and using their keen sense of smell to detect incoming prey. And once they can smell you approaching, they will position themselves in the leaves of the trees, being basically impossible to spot unless you're actively looking for them. And even if you do see them, you're automatically going to assume it's a koala. And that assumption is probably going to be the last mistake you make, because walking under these things is inviting the most painful death you can think of. Once you've walked into range, the drop bear will launch itself from a tree and aim directly for your head. Small animals will often be clapped on impact as the 20-kilo drop bear launched itself out of the tree so fast that it snaps their spine. And they're the lucky ones, because once they make contact with your head, drop bears will immediately puncture your scalp with their foreclaws and latch on like a fuzzy little face hugger.
100% real,
Once
trust
firmly
me.
attached to your
This is
skull,
not
the drop
fake
bear will
at
start
all.
to kick out your eyes with its hind claws in an attempt to blind you. And while they are forcing you to cosplay Daredevil, they will be tearing into your face with their fangs like a fucking chainsaw. The attacks are so vicious, most human victims end up being completely scalped and having their faces removed. And even if you manage to pull them off in the initial assault, those claws contain a potent neurotoxin which will paralyze you in under 5 minutes, allowing them to run you down and eat you alive. Australia loses roughly 600 people per year to drop bears. So if you want to survive your trip down under, I have a secret to share with you about the drop bear. And that secret is that all of this is complete and utter bullshit. Drop bears aren't real. I made it all up. April Fool's cunt.
I love that. Oh, I love that. Oh, appreciate continuing the drop bear fucking thing. I love that.
This jellyfish is basically a time bomb.
Yeah, what?
Introducing the Irukandji, a species of jellyfish
I think I
native
know
to the
what this
northern
is.
waters of the land down under, and possibly my least favourite animal in the
You're insane. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. If you think I'm insane, then I'm doing something right. I reckon.
entire ocean, because it is just a massive, spiteful. Well, massive is misleading, as this little guy is tiny. I mean, ridiculously small.
The Tyler one.
Being not much bigger than your fingernail at the head and basically completely f***ing invisible
Why?
to the naked eye. This is a fairly major problem, because behind that halo cloak frame they are dragging 3-foot-long tentacles and shocking absolutely no one.
Say the line, Bart.
It is one of the most venomous jellyfish in the ocean.
Yippee.
I'm so f***ing tired of the stealth poison multiclasses on OCE servers, dude. This shit is broken. You see, those 3-foot tentacles are covered with tiny little barbs, and at the barest touch, they will literally propel themselves into your skin like a bullet and inject
Let me guess. Neurotoxin.
you with the Australia Special, a pina colada cocktail of various neurotoxins.
Neurotoxins, as in plural. Why multiple? Why? What use does a jellyfish of all things have for this? They don't. Jellyfish don't even have a brain. Like, no, quite literally, they don't even have a brain. What use do they have for this shit?
And upon being injected, you will feel absolutely f***ing nothing.
Ah.
You'll keep swimming around,
Australia hates everyone. I can confirm this. I can confirm this. Both the environment and the animals that live in the environment.
splashing about in the water, kissing the homies, until you are overcome with a sudden, severe feeling of impending dread. I mean,
Is this where Urokanji syndrome comes from? Oh. I feel a bit stupid. I'm a first-class retard.
the kind of dread that will have you hysterically screaming that you are about to die.
I am gonna die! I'm gonna die! I'm gonna f***ing die!
That's because the invisible cunt here does psychic damage, inflicting a condition known as Irukandji syndrome, which starts with a feeling of impending doom so strong there are records of people asking to be, avoiding a ban here, forcibly disconnected from God's Minecraft server.
yeah.
And that feeling of doom is warranted because about 30 minutes after being stung, that biological bomb goes off, with the venom initially causing extreme pain throughout your entire body. And after making you feel like a failed isekai protagonist, venom then spikes your blood pressure and heart rate through the roof, which can cause heart attacks, blood clots, and has even been recorded to cause brain hemorrhages. And the f***ed up part is, it doesn't have an anti-venom. This thing sneak attacks you, waits to...
Yeah, that'd be my response. If I was reacting to this shit. I mean, I knew what Urokanji syndrome was. I just didn't have the fucking brain cells to put two and two together. I wonder what the Urokanji jellyfish produces. Oh wait, it's the fucking Urokanji syndrome.
30 minutes, sends you a private DM telling you it got your ass, and there is not a fucking thing you can do about it. Toxic little shit. This jellyfish...
Nah, that's fucked. Why do I live in a country where, like, everything can kill me? Like, even the fucking plants can, man. Like, why?
This pigeon saved an entire army battalion.
Heroes never die.
Introducing our protagonist, Jeremy, a carrier pigeon who was in the employ of the US Army Signal Corps during World War I. You see, back in the oldie times, radio technology was, kind of dog shit. So carrier pigeons were still the meta for DMing the homies memes over distance. Which is how, in 1918, our feathered little shock trooper here ended up in France. With 500 US soldiers stuck 3 kilometers behind enemy lines, completely cut off from supply and reinforcement in a 7-day shootout. You see, Jeremy's battalion, juiced up on freedom and red crayons, had overextended and become trapped, surrounded on all sides by German soldiers. And to make matters worse, being stuck behind enemy lines meant they were now on the receiving end of US defense spending, being absolutely hammered with friendly artillery. Now, stuck as far away as they would have had more luck using their radio as fucking nunchucks than a comms device. So they began sending out carrier pigeons in an attempt to tell command to stop fucking shelling them and help on the point. However, the Germans were having none of that shit and shot every single carrier pigeon the battalion sent out of the air like they were running an AIM Labs warm-up. Until only one remained, Jeremy. Desperate and rapidly running out of soldiers, the battalion wrote a message and attached it to Jeremy, sending him into the air and watching him sail above the trees. And just when they thought he was clear...
No!
Some f***ing sweat on the German side nailed
My sandwich. Oh, you got your sandwich now? Nice.
them. The battalion watched in horror as their last hope spiraled out of the sky.
No!
The bullet tore straight through Jeremy's center of mass,
Oh,
destroying
shit.
one eye, punching a hole through his chest, and blowing
Your dog stole. I don't know how you let that happen, not gonna lie. Your dog may be just a little bit hungry.
off one of his legs. And this giga chad
No
of an
way.
animal tanked it.
Do you have any ibuprofen? I got a headache.
The Marines watched in awe as this mangled pigeon picked itself out of the
No
mud
way.
and managed to fly clear of German
Actual,
fire.
like, Giga Chad
Jeremy made it the whole way back to base, delivering the message and saving a total of 194 soldiers. Not only did
Holy
he get the job
shit.
done, but he f***ing lived. He was granted one of
pigeon
the
is built
highest
different.
military honours the French army could provide and sent into retirement with his trainer. And when he eventually did pass several years later, he was preserved and placed in the Smithsonian, where you can go see him today. There he is. Absolute f***ing legend.
Actual W bird. Not gonna lie, that bird will be famous than most of us. Not gonna lie. What an actual, like, W pigeon right there.
Scientists just de-extincted a 12,000-year-old dog.
What?
Well, kinda. You see, a bioengineering company called Colossal has dedicated itself to doing what every single Jurassic Park film has told us is a bad idea.
Yeah, just really quick thing. You know, humans have like a tendency like to do things where there's a bunch of evidence to like not do. I feel like the Jurassic Park movies is evidence enough you should not try and bring shit back. It's like it's the same shit with all of this AI stuff, right? Like we literally have a whole series of movies saying why developing AI is not a good idea. Why does it always happen in Australia? We are all a tad bit crazy and strange. That's why. Also, probably because most Australians couldn't give like a solitary fuck. I'm gonna be honest. Like most Australians cannot be fucked to give a shit.
Bringing back extinct species. And recently, they made a breakthrough. They have managed to bring back the 12,000-year-old direwolf.
Oh.
You know those big-ass puppies from Game of Thrones that the Starks had? Yeah, those were actually a real-ass animal, alive during the late Ice Age. And the best way I can describe them to you is, basically a wolf on steroids.
Oh.
These things were bigger, faster, and stronger, estimated...
Australians have no survival instincts. I can confirm this. We will do like not me personally because I'm too much of a pussy, but like I have seen some of like Australians do some of the dumbest shit, and this includes some of my friends, by the way. And by the way, if you watch this, you know who you are. But when we were younger, probably like 14, what's it called? My friend got a lighter and then got a thing of deodorant. And by the way, I would like to point out, we were inside when he did this. He could have fucking set the house on fire. He quite literally sprayed it up into the roof. And like it was basically like a custom flamethrower. Like we have no survival instincts. Blood axe, I'm sorry, I cannot read what that says. I only speak and read English. But, hey, how you doing, by the way?
to have the highest bite force out of any canine, and in a move that I'm sure has no...
Oh, yeah, I think it's Russian. I can't even speak, like, Italian or Greek, let alone Russian. Like...
implications, they have managed to bring these bad boys back to life.
Oh, sick.
These two little guys are now 6 months old and have been living on a private plot of land with 24/7 veterinary care. However, they've only just been shown off to the public, with the company going so far as to get a photo up with George R.R. Martin holding one of these adorable little killing machines, showing that man will literally interact with an extinct species before he finishes that last book.
Oh my God.
There is, however, one small problem. This isn't technically a direwolf. You see, by merit of them being extinct, short of specking into necromancy, you can't exactly bring them back.
Yeah.
Which is where this guy comes in. You see, the grey wolf shares 99.5% of its genetic code with the direwolf.
Oh.
So, using
I'm gonna
CRISPR
get a
gene
slot
editing,
soon.
they're basically
Oh, sick. Nice. Wait, what is... Actually, what does a sloth bear look like? Hold on, quick search. Um, sloth bear. You getting one of these things? Are you even allowed to own one? Also, that is such a derpy face. Like, look at that shit. It was a joke. Okay. I shit at reading into jokes, but this thing has such a derpy face. Like, look at that. Look at its face. They beat tigers to death. Oh shit, really? Um, Probably shouldn't laugh at it then, eh? Anyways, back to the
Toss the
direwolf.
grey wolf back into the Spore Critch creator, then using the code found in direwolf fossils as a build guide, juiced the f out of it, boosting the size slider and putting some extra points into strength, as well as adjusting its head shape and teeth. All in all, they made a total of 20 edits to 14 genes, producing the closest thing we can get to a direwolf short of time travel, which is cool as f. I give it 5 years before a man-made horror beyond comprehension breaks out of that f***ing lab and we are all playing Resident Evil.
Yeah, I guarantee that. Yeah, I'd say give it 10 years and that's what's gonna be happening. Mosquitoes. Actually, yeah, you're not wrong because they carry like a lot of diseases and shit with them. And then when they drink your blood, then they inject or transmit it.
This snake can take your arm off.
Excuse me?
Scratch. Scratch?
I meant most dangerous bear. Okay.
Your arm's off.
Introducing the fer-de-lance, a species of pit viper native to South America and Mexico, with
Hell
this
yeah.
particular nope rope having quite possibly one of the nastiest fucking bites in the world.
Oh.
This is a fairly major problem because this little has the temperament of an esche at a train station,
Oh boy.
being incredibly
The most dangerous bear is the polar bear. The second is the sloth bear. Yeah, actually, aren't polar bears like one of the only animals who actively hunt humans as food? Like, because most animals, like, even if like they're dangerous, they'll only attack to like protect their young or protect themselves. Yeah. I remember like online, I've seen like a clip of like someone like seeing it like on the Antarctic shelter and like seeing like trying to hide from the polar bears. That shit would be terrifying, bro. Cause they're not slow either. They're fast.
aggressive and extremely territorial.
I suppose he's giving you a wallace in your shoes, bar. Otherwise, I'll save your head in right here, right now, bar.
In fact, this toxic garden
So how are polar bears in zoos safe for us to be near? They're not. And I would not ever go near one. Like, ever. Oh, hydration time.
hose is such an aggressive little within its range, it makes up an average of 50% of all snake bites.
Holy.
However, despite the huge number of attacks, it's only fatal in 6% of bites. So why is it such a...
Oh, I'll wait for you then. Pick a number 1 through 7, and then a number 1 through 3. First number I'm gonna pick is 5, and the second number I'm gonna pick is 2. Okay.
Problem.
Onwards.
Just because you live the bite doesn't mean you'll want to. You see, when a
does it
fertilance
have
bites you,
tissue
this
necrosis?
massive viper
Holy.
sinks its huge inch-long fangs
Holy
into your skin
shit.
and injects you with 2 teaspoons of venom. You will at this
That's
point
not
notice a
needed.
little status effect bar appear on the bottom of your screen. Don't worry about that. That's a
I'm
mystery
worried
mouse
about
tool
it.
that'll hurt us later. Upon being bitten, your blood pressure immediately crashes lower than the stock market, and you start to feel very ill. The bite wound feels like you've been shot in the f***ing leg, you start sweating like someone's looking through your browser history, and then you start puking your guts up. Shortly followed by you collapsing to the ground in agony. Now, Fer-de-Lance venom is hemorrhagic, so while you're having a frat boy moment on the ground, the venom is breaking down the walls of your blood vessels, causing massive internal bleeding. At the same time, it's seeping into your bloodstream, causing it to thicken and start throwing clots. But hey, you're in luck. You were the buddy when you got bitten. They rush you to the hospital, and because it's such a common snake bite, they have the anti-venom on hand and administer it immediately, counteracting the venom's effects. There is just one problem. The mystery mouse tool is still there, because anti-venom is not necromancy. So, all the dead tissue around the bite caused by the blood clots and internal bleeding, yeah, still very dead. In fact, it's so dead that it is rotting on your still alive body.
It's fucking tissue necrosis. Why? Oh my god. I think actually like being bitten by something that will create like tissue necrosis. That I think is like one of my biggest fears, because like imagine like watching the skin rot on your hand or like your body. That would be fucking terrifying.
In a process called necrosis. I can't show you a photo of necrosis because it's genuinely disgusting. But to put it in a term you can understand,
at it.
the snake applies scarlet rot.
Oh, yeah, honestly, scarlet rot is a pretty accurate description of necrosis.
Now, so long as that rot's still attached to you, it's gonna spread. So, there's only one way to stop it. Cut it off. This...
Fucking Fer-de-Lance, man. Why? Why do these animals need to like have this much overkill in all their venom?
This adorable little octopus is also the world's deadliest. Introducing the blue-ringed octopus, a species of cephalopod native to Australia, and in a shock to precisely 0 people at this point, it's venomous. Because of course it's f***ing venomous. Why wouldn't it be venomous? That'd make my life way too f***ing easy. Now,
yep, remember Australia is hardcore PvE.
To its credit, unlike most of the toxic bullshit in this hellscape I call home, they at least have the common decency to be coloured like a fucking neon sign. However, it immediately loses this credit by being the octopus equivalent of a fucking hobbit, coming in smaller than a 50-cent coin.
Oh shit, really? Honestly, I thought they were bigger. Because like, I've never actually seen one before. Like, I've seen photos and shit, right? But I've never actually seen one.
Is a problem. Because it is the most venomous octopus in the world.
Oh, lovely.
That's right, this fluoro spaghetti ball is packed to the brim with neurotoxin. More specifically, tetrodotoxin. You know, the same shit that turns cooking a puff fish into a quick time event.
That's the same
Yeah, these little guys are packing it too. However, because it...
No, correction. It's not the poison country, it's the Satan country. It is Satan's private zoo of bullshit.
Is Australian, the blue-ringed octopus is on violence timing and is the only animal in the world to use this as an offensive measure by way of a venomous bite. But what does the venom actually do? Well, imagine you're wading through the rock pools with the homies and you accidentally disturb this little gentleman's residence. The blue ring, taking the American approach to
the pufferfish, yeah, they can be eaten. You just need to like make sure the chef's actually good enough to remove the poison. Otherwise, well, you're fucking dead, buddy. I hope you're ready for your lungs to like seize up and be paralyzed.
On defense, suctions onto your leg and bites you. Best part, it's completely painless. So if you're distracted by
you
how
don't even
thick
feel
your mate's
it?
looking in those speedos, you aren't gonna feel shit. That is, until your face starts tingling like TV static. It's warm out here under the sun, but you weren't sweating like this 5 minutes ago, and now you got a headache. You start to feel sick, weak. You go to call out, but your voice comes out slurred like you just knocked back a bottle of vodka.
2 shots of
Oh, fuck.
vodka.
Hey, is it Dunno's story time? Is it Dunno's story time? It is in fact Dunno's story time. What's the story for today, mate? This one involves a pufferfish and a durian fruit. Now I'm intrigued. So about 3 months ago, I was going to a fancy restaurant and I just asked for something exotic. Oh, they're already a not so great start. They brought up pufferfish and durian jam. Aight. It was delicious, but it smelled like shit. Actually, how does pufferfish taste? Now I'm curious. What does pufferfish taste like? Interesting. Like, if you had to compare it to something, what would it taste like? Like monkfish. Not gonna lie, I've never had monkfish in my life. To be fair, I haven't really had a lot of fish in general. Or cat. Oh, something like catfish. Okay, I have had catfish. Oh, now that it's just more chewy. Oh, okay. Oh, as that's been Dunno's story time for tonight / today. Buffet sack. Nice. Well, I think this has been Dunno's story time. Alright, that's our Dunno's story time for the stream. Moving onwards.
And then suddenly, your legs come out from under you, and you hit the beach.
Oh.
Fun fact about tetrodotoxin. It's a paralytic.
Yup.
Freezes up your muscles one by one, starting with your arms and legs, which is why you're kissing the sand. You know what else is a muscle? Your diaphragm, the muscle that controls your breathing. And turns those bad boys off too. And so, your chest stops rising and falling, and you suffocate to death right there on the beach.
Lovely. Oh
Now,
no,
you may be
yeah.
wondering, how come no one called an ambulance? That's easy. They didn't have time to. You went up to meet your
what?
ancestors in under 20
Fuck
minutes.
off.
God ordered your ass with same-day shipping, and this little delivered. Employee of the month.
Employee of the month. Oh, fuck. Nah, this little fucking turd, bro. blow it up. Yeah, literally.
This is Australia's most common.
The eastern brown snake. Okay, I want you all to pay attention here. This snake is literally fucking everywhere. This shit is what all Australians are scared of. Alright?
Snake, and that's quite a problem, because it's also one of the world's deadliest. Introducing the eastern brown snake, native to quite literally every state in the land down under. And unluckily for us, this asshole has earned himself a silver medal in the Note Rope Olympics venom category, coming in second place for the most venomous snake in the world. It is worth noting that third and first place are unsurprisingly also both held by Australian snakes.
Yep.
Because God hates us. However, unlike...
Oh, you have 3k counterpoints? Oh, shit. Well, by tomorrow or the day after, there's gonna be some redeems for you.
First and third, the toxic middle child here is a far larger problem. Because, putting it lightly, he's a
I'm farming stream.
The eastern brown is one of the most territorial species of snake in the world, which is a scientific way of saying they operate on the US home defense philosophy.
Oh,
if you dare put a pinky toe onto this guy's property, he will bite your ass, injecting you with a hemotoxin that can send you to heaven
it's a
via blood clot
hemotoxin?
in
No, I
under
didn't know that
30
one.
minutes if left untreated. But hey, stay off his property and he'll leave you alone, right? Yeah, one problem. His property is your property.
Yep.
That's right, the eastern brown doesn't live out in the middle of nowhere like his slightly more deadly cousin. This fucker is so at home in the suburbs, he drives a f***ing Prius. You can find this burnt piece of spaghetti literally anywhere. Go to put your shoes on, he's turned them into a 2-bedroom home.
He is
Hop in the
fucking
car to go to work.
everywhere.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's his car now. Get to work on the job site? What do you know? He works
That's
here
the
too.
smoko.
Try to take a shower after a long day at work? F off, he's moisturising. You can't even take a shit in the comfort of your own home without running the risk of the dunny being occupied. In fact, these bastards are
Blow up
so
Australia.
omnipresent that out of
Honestly, we might need to blow up Australia at this point. There is like so much dangerous shit here. These creatures need to die. Yeah, they really do. Wait until you meet the inland taipan.
200 species of snake in the country. This ginormous asshole makes up 60% of snake bites. What a cunt.
Brown serpent guardian of the bell. Yeah. This fucker is literally everywhere. I've seen these guys like a couple times. I live like in a pretty like urban area, and they're everywhere still. Like, and they're so fucking aggressive as well, because you'll just be walking by and they'll still try and attack you. Blow them up with tank mines. Honestly, they'd probably find a way to avoid the tank mines. You would probably just need to bomb the place.
This shrimp can cause explosions.
My main goal is to blow up.
Introducing the mantis shrimp, native to the West Indo-Pacific Ocean and possibly the coolest crustacean under the sea, because this fluorescent armoured sausage is actually a voracious, bloodthirsty predator rocking enough surveillance equipment to scare the CIA with a weapon.
One of those almost hit me once. Wait, you mean the shrimp? Or the mines, what?
Powerful enough to surpass Metal Gear. See, the mantis shrimp is a highly effective predator, and they find and track their prey with easily the most advanced set of eyes on the
I was gonna say, you got hit with a fucking tank mine?
planet. First off, each of these eye stalks can rotate independently like a periscope, giving them a full 360 degrees of vision. However, more importantly, they can see colours we can't. You see, the mantis shrimp's eyes contain a full 15 photoreceptor cones compared to our 3, which is a fancy way of saying...
No, but I was struck with lightning almost. How is all the craziest shit happening to you? I was like 3 feet away from it. Fucking hell. I'd be scarred for life if that happened to me.
They can see in 16K HDR with ray tracing enabled at 500 render distance.
Oh my god.
Now, not only is the visual
God,
clarity
I'm gonna die.
unmatched, they can also see into the infrared and ultraviolet light spectrums.
Holy.
And despite all of this, they still can't find who asked. What they can, however, find is their next meal. The mantis shrimp subsists on a diet of fish, worms,
I'm
squidward,
too good at life to live.
and, most importantly, Mr. Krabs. Now, crabs famously exist inside of a defensive shell. So,
Yep.
how does this polite little gentleman break into the shell? Simple. He throws hands.
Well, he's not a polite gentleman then, is he? He's fucking throwing hands and punching the shit out of them.
That's right, weighing in at only 90 grams and 38 centimeters in length,
grams?
the mantis shrimp has a punch that produces 15,000 newtons of force. That is
Holy shit.
176 newtons per gram. So if a human was capable of that same kind of force, a right hook from someone who weighs 80 kilo would be like getting hit in the face with 6 sticks of dynamite.
Holy fuck.
Now, to produce that force, its claw needs to be moving at...
They can hit harder than a bullet in water. Outside of it, it would destroy a person. Yeah, because the water would have resistance slowing it down. Fuck.
83...
I'm sorry. It's punching at 83 kilometers an hour? Fuck off.
kilometers an hour, which is
I was almost
so
here, holy
fast,
shit.
it creates a vacuum in the water called a cavitation bubble, which then immediately collapses at such a speed, it creates a miniature explosion that flashbangs the target and reaches a temperature hotter than the surface of the sun.
Fuck it. Excuse me? Okay, I'm sorry, but an animal that weighs 90 grams has no fucking right to be punching so incredibly fucking fast that it's making a miniature, like, explosion that's hotter than the surface of the sun. That's fucked up. Lil Fox watching shorts, yeah, a little bit something different. I'm gonna be going to bed in a couple minutes because it's 11:30 at night. Now imagine a human-sized mantis. You'd get like one punch. You would literally have an actual like real-life One Punch Man. The planet would go boom. Yeah.
Mr. Krabs is getting f***ing disintegrated.
Yeah.
Money.
Alright. I know this stream hasn't been going as long as I'd like it to, but I really do need to be heading off to bed, because I do unfortunately have work in the morning. And if I am to function, who wins, Goku or Mantis
This
Shrimp?
shrimp.
Goku. 100% Goku. Alright, no, not Goku, Mantis Shrimp. What am I on? Bye, Bill. Yeah, stream will be on tomorrow. Not Bill Bonac. Bonac. Move the Bill. Bonac. But yeah, I will be streaming tomorrow though. But thank you for watching and everything. I will be putting this on YouTube as well. So enjoy. But thank you for coming along, and I'll see you tomorrow.